This is the second part of structure and function of muscles. Antagonist muscles that oppose or reverse a particular movement, they are known as antagonist muscles. What are synergist muscles? A synergist hold the body in a position so that antagonist muscle can operate any unwanted that agonist muscle can operate any unwanted movement that might occur as a prime mover contracts. Fixator when it immobilizes the bone of the prime mover's origin, thus providing a stable base for the action of the prime mover. Microanatomy of skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscle cells develop when hundreds of individual embryonic cells called myoblasts fuse. The resulting cell membrane is called as sarcolemma and the cytoplasm is known as sarcoplasm. Skeletal muscles are very large. Their diameter is about 100 microns, about 13 times the diameter of RBC, that is red blood cells, and they can be as long as 30 to 40 centimeter, that is 10 to 16 inches. Skeletal muscles are multinucleate. The nuclei of the myoblast that fuse to form the cell remain within the cell. Some myoblasts do not fuse but remain associated with the fiber as a satellite cells that can divide and differentiate to repair damaged cells. The proteins of muscles. Myofibrils are built of three kinds of proteins. First is contractile proteins, which is myosin and actin. Regulatory proteins, which turn contraction on and off, which are troponin and tropomyosin. Structural proteins, which provide proper alignment, elasticity, and extensibility. These are titin, myosin, nebulin, and dystrophin. These are the transverse sections of tubules. They are internal tubular extensions of the sarcolemma into the sarcoplasm called as transverse tubules or T-tubules. These are the structure of T-tubules. ये सिर्फ मैंने समझाने के लिए यहाँ पे रखा है, इसको एग्जाम में बनाने की आपको ज़रूरत नहीं है. Myofibrils. Each skeletal muscle cells or fiber, there are cylindrical structures called myofibrils. Contraction of the myofibrils result in contraction of the entire cell. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. In between the loops of transverse tubules, there is a network of tubules of smooth endoplasmic reticulum called the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Terminal cisternae. The sarcoplasmic reticulum surrounds the myofibril like a sleeve. The sarcoplasmic reticulum on either side of the loop of transverse tubules fuse to form expanded chambers called terminal cisternae. Triad. The combination of transverse tubules flanked by two terminal cisternae is called as triad. Mitochondria. The energy of muscle contraction is supplied by the numerous mitochondria that surrounds the myofibrils. Glycogen granules. Glycogen granules that also surrounds the myofibril as a ready source of fuel. Sarcomeres. The myofilaments are organized in repeating units along the length of the myofibril called sarcomeres. Myofilaments. The myofibrils are made up of numerous myofilaments. You can see there is a cell membrane, sarcolemma, myofibrils, sarcoplasm containing organelles such as nuclei, mitochondria, sarcoplasmic reticulum. This you should make in the exam. Now let's come to the sarcomere organization. Actin and myosin. The primary microfilaments in myofibrils are actin thin and myosin, which are thick filaments. So actin are thin filaments, myosin are thick filaments. Within each sarcomere, there is a precise arrangement of these filaments. The sarcomeres of neighboring myofibrils are in alignment and they create the branding pattern visible with the light microscope. So this is how it is explained here. The difference in the size and density of thick and thin filaments is responsible for the branding pattern. The center of the sarcomere has a narrow band called the H band where there are only thick filaments. The H band is in the center of the A band that includes a zone of overlap between the thick and thin filaments. In the zone of overlap, each thick filament is surrounded by 6 thin filaments and each thin filament is surrounded by 3 thick filaments. The I band is where the thin filament do not overlap with the thick filaments at either end of the sarcomere and stranding the Z line. So this is how it is explained in the diagram as well. The thick filaments are linked in the center of the sarcomere by proteins that form the M line. At either end of the sarcomere, the actin filaments are attached to one another by proteins that form the Z line. The Z line marks the boundaries of each sarcomere. Now let's come to the thin filaments. The thin filament is composed of 300 to 400 G-actin protein molecules that form a linear molecule called F-actin. The F-actin molecules are held together by another protein called nebulin. Each G protein molecule has an active site that binds to site on the myosin molecule. This binding is prevented by another protein called as topomyosin that covers the active site on the actin. Topomyosin is held in position by a protein called as troponin. When calcium ion binds to troponin, the position of topomyosin changes to uncover the binding site and permits the binding actin to myosin. At either end of the sarcomere, the actin filaments are attached to the Z-line disc by protein called actinin. Now let's come to the thick filament. Thick filaments are composed of a bundle of about 500 myosin molecules. Each myosin molecule consists of 2 strands, of which each has a tail that twists around the other and a head. The head projects outward towards the thin filament and are called cross bridges because they attach to the thin filament during the contraction. The thick filaments are associated with the protein called as titin. Titin contributes to the normal alignment of the thick and thin filaments and has elastic properties that restores the sarcomere to its original resting position after being it is stretched. Nerves and the blood supply in the skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscles has a rich blood supply. It is understandable because contracting muscle fibers use huge amount of energy and require almost continuous delivery of oxygen and nutrients via the arteries. Muscle cells also give off large amount of metabolic wastes that must be removed through veins if contraction is to remain efficient. Muscle capillaries, the smallest of the body's blood vessels, are long and winding and have numerous crosslinks, features that accommodate changes in muscle length. They straighten when the muscle stretches and contort when muscle contracts. So, with this, we complete the second part of this lecture. Rest we will cover in the third part.